Hey everybody, welcome back to this Extreme Warfare Revenge series. My name is Andy, your commentator for episode number 34, I think. I don't know, I can't remember. Anyway, that doesn't matter. What does matter is what's going to be taking place in this episode, and that is the usual, basically. So we're going to be continuing on through the year. You can see there we're on the 24th of November. I'm currently recording this on the 5th of December, so a little bit behind. But by the end of this video, we will be at the end of November and into December. Obviously. Right, so at the end of the last video, we did our big November pay-per-view, which was Primal Rage. And these were the results from that card, so just a quick recap. So Real One, Enzo More in brackets, beat Mick Foley because Pac debuted and Swerve Bro teamed up with Real One. Mia Yim beat Nicole Matthews. Congo Kong beat Chris Sabin. Io Shirai retained the women's title against Shanna. Eli Drake beat Brian Cage in a last man standing match. Asuka beat Deonna Purrazzo in a match that Paige returned at the end of, I believe, to save Deonna Purrazzo. And then in the main event, Keith Lee beat Dominik Dijakovic because Drew Gulak helped him win. After it was supposed to be Drew Gulak versus Keith Lee, but Dominik Dijakovic injured Drew Gulak. So that is where we're up to. So as I said, we're going to be doing the next two shows. So it's the next episode of Warfare and the next episode of Outrage, as we do the fallout from Primal Rage and then start the build to our big December event, which I haven't actually booked yet in terms of put it on the calendar. So you can see there, I know when it's going to take place. I think it's going to be the 28th of, probably going to be the 28th, which is the same day that World's End's taking place, I believe. But I don't know what it's going to be called yet. That's the thing. I haven't decided. I was thinking of some kind of Christmas-related name, but anyway, that's not important. What is important is getting on with it. So, of course, our next show is Warfare, as I've said, which is going to be taking place on Thursday. We're on Sunday, so it's got a few days to get through. And as we move from Sunday to Monday, no doubt 65 promotions will either get bigger or smaller, and that will lead to lots of hiring and firing. Okay, only 7 emails, so I'm a bit surprised about that. Miami Fusion haven't been renewed for a while. MLW Fusion has been renewed. Cool, that's fair enough. There we go. One promotion change. So CMLL have fallen to Cult again for the millionth time. And then, of course, the Promotion Wars email. So usual stuff. We have more star power. They're better workers. We're more professional. Although I'm a bit surprised with House of Hardcore that we have more star power, given that they signed Kevin Nash and Scott Hall in the last video, and their overness is quite high, so I'm a bit surprised about that. Not that I'm complaining, because obviously I don't want to lose any overness. Yep, usual stuff. So more pay-per-views. Impact Gold Rush. Fair enough. Must be a new pay-per-view that they've come up with. Okay, I'm a bit surprised about that. I thought there'd be more hirings and firings. Maybe CMLL are going to do some of that now. Oh, there we go. Still only 12 emails. So Noam Dar has gone to AIW without Alicia Fox. I don't think she's there. Crimson's gone to Rise. So I'm guessing, what's he called? Noam Dar's replaced Crimson. Akira Tozawa's gone to Rise. There we go. CMLL have released Mr. Niebla. And Super Porky. You can't release Super Porky. Where is Alicia Fox? Oh, she's unemployed. Which I'm a little bit surprised about, given her bonus is 63. I'd have thought that somebody may have... Alison Evans hasn't got a picture. May have to put that right. Who's the other person I was going to check? Alison... Am I getting them mixed up with Alison Kay? I don't know. Anyway. What's the other thing I was going to check? Super Porky, that was it. Let's have a look at Super Porky. Super Porky. Clap, 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 clap. There he is. I put that picture on. Not one of my better ones. Anyway, move on. I thought we'd have had more emails. I'm a little bit surprised. Not that I'm complaining. There we go, still no emails. This is unusual. If you've watched the rest of the series, you'll know that do normally get quite a lot of emails in terms of hirings and fires. I do quite like that, actually. I like the fact that other companies hire and fire quite a lot. But no emails, so we're all ready, should I say, at show day. So the fallout from... the fallout from Primal Rage. I keep forgetting what the pay-per-view is called. I think it's because the pay-per-view is called Primal Rage, and my weekly show is called Outrage. I feel like that's why I keep getting mixed up. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's instead crack on with it. I'm going to kick things off with an angle, so a follow-up from the pay-per-view. So, of course, Paige returned to save Deonna Purrazzo. And that's what she's going to do in this angle. She's going to kick the show off, and she's going to... I mean, I've put that call out, ask her, no reply. Basically, she'll come to the ring and say, hey, this is my house, I'm fully recovered now, and I'm not going anywhere until I exact my revenge on those... whatever. Stunning Sukeban, so I want to fight now. And she basically calls out the Stunning Sukeban rather than just ask her. But we'll say it's ask her for argument's sake. And they don't come out, so that's the opening segment. And then we're going to kick things off with in terms of the matches, with a tag team match. Now, in the last video, Jun, is it Jun or Yun? I'm not sure. Yun Akiyama debuted. Probably should know that, really, if it's Jun or Yun. Anyway, we'll say Jun. Jun Akiyama debuted, and he debuted as the tag team partner of Go Shiozaki. So the tag team known as Burning have reunited. And they're going to have their first match here against the Warlord and the Barbarian. So we are still employing them, so we might as well use them until their contract's so I don't just release them. Anyway, they're going to stick around if you just need to give a face team a win. So might as well make use of them. So dust them off, and of course Yun can get the pin over the Barbarian. Why not? And a nice clean win, and no reason for that to be happening other than the fact that Burning need to have a match, basically. I'm going to go from one match to another, and it's yet more Japanese against American. The Warlords, yeah, bad. Anyway, move on. It's more Japan versus America, because it's going to be Brian Cage, who of course lost to Eli Drake, and he's going to take on Kushida. So Kushida, of course, the ex-partner of Go Shiozaki in the brilliantly named, if I do say so myself, Tag Team Go Time. Yeah, I made that up. Get me on the writing team. However, now he's gone back to singles competition. He's going to lose. I need to give Brian Cage a win after his defeat against Eli Drake. That's pretty much the purpose of that match. Right, and then more follow-up from the pay-per-view. So Deonna Purrazzo is going to thank Paige for saving her at the end of the Asuka match. Of course, Paige will turn around and say, well, hey, I'm not going in, I've got your back. I'm not going anywhere after they injured me. I'm all about revenge and stuff like that, basically. Okay, next up, we're going to do an interview with Eli Drake, who's just going to basically say how amazing he is. If you want to get a good segment, just stick Eli Drake in an interview, you'll get a good rating, so his charisma is very, very high. Right, and then another big... I feel like I've brought these two similar segments together, but anyway, whatever. And then, so another big sort of, hey, I'm here sort of speech here. So we've had one from Paige earlier, we've now got one from another British wrestler whose name begins with PA, and it's going to be Pac. However, we're going to change this up slightly. It's going to be... I thought you could... No, it doesn't matter. I have to change it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Right, so it's going to be... Manager introduces new singles client. So what's going to happen here is... So Real One, Enzo Mori in brackets. I've changed him to a manager. So he's now going to manage Pac. So what would happen... As I said, what would happen here is... Pac would come out, he'd explain why he joined Real One, and he'd basically say something like... what's the point? Wrestlers in this industry, wrestlers don't get over. You do a bit of a sort of a work shooty type thing where you say like wrestlers don't get over, but entertainers do. People invest in and cheer about characters rather than wrestlers. I just come out here and when I just came out here and wrestled, yeah, you'd you'd chant "This is awesome," but then, you know, what after that? You didn't really care about me. Whereas, you know, people like Real One, not Enzo, people like Real One, Enzo in brackets, you know, they don't come out here and wrestle. They just come out here and goof about and chant, do catchphrases, and you idiots sing along with it. You know, words to that effect, basically, where he's basically sort of criticising Real One, but saying, well, I'm going to be more like him now because that's what you people like. It's a you people promo, but with a twist, I think. I hope that made sense. Basically, he's turning around saying, I'm not a wrestler anymore, I'm a sports entertainer. I would say a bit like the Jericho Appreciation Center, but not quite like that. But you get the idea. Anyway, move on. Let's move on quickly to a 6-person tag. Yep, so Pac is now a heel, and he's now an entertainer. Which is why I gave him a silly gimmick. Okay, so the 6-person tag, it's going to be the Iron Fist, so Congo Kong, Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dane, and they're going to take on the ramshackled team, the Hammerneggers of Orange Cassidy, Triton, and Trey Miguel. Going to dust those two off. They've not been used for a while. The Sky Riders, and of course the Iron Fists are going to win. So Congo Kong can pin Triton. Actually, they can pin Trey Miguel. Why not? And they can just sort of clearly beat them. Alright. Next up, we've got yet another match. And it's another singles match. So we really are excelling ourselves here. Got 5 matches on this show, which is a miracle for me. And 2 of them are singles. And this one is going to be a rematch from a previous show. It's going to be Mark Haskins versus Chris Sabin once again. This match took place before the pay-per-view, and once again Chris Sabin is going to win. However, after the match, he'll win cleanly. However, after the match, they're going to shake hands. So obviously Mark Haskins is a heel, so they're going to hopefully have another great match. And the fans will hopefully do a tired "This is awesome" chant and blah, 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 and appreciate the match. And then they'll shake hands. And there is a purpose to that, but yeah, we'll build up to... we're going to plant some seeds there. Okay, we've got 2 segments. I've got 3 segments to go. So similar to the Paige segment, in a way, there's going to be a challenge. So it's Drew Gulak going to challenge Dominik Dijakovic for Outrage. He wants a match with him on Outrage. And then another random angle. I'm trying to heat the tag team division up a little bit, by featuring more teams. So obviously Tribe Yangard debuted recently. The Juicy Product turned babyface recently. So again, we're trying to keep the tag division interesting. They had a match. It had an inconclusive finish. I think Juicy Product won by disqualification. So they're going to have a fight just to show that rivalry is still going on. And then it's main event time. It's another random six-man tag. And it's going to be... I'll do these entrances the other way. Timothy Thatcher and the tag team champions. The worst tag team champions I've ever had. That's due to me, not them. Not really give them much to do since they won the belts. And they're going to take on the team of Crime Time and Keith Lee. So I think that could be an interesting combination. And the unlikely duo, or trio I should say, are going to win. So Timothy Thatcher can pin JTG, why not? They'll do it cleanly. Why not? Well, the champ doesn't get pinned, but he does lose. Not quite sure what the point of that match was, but anyway. Let's go. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. You see? Burning. Dragging a great match out of Powers a bit. Like I've said before, with tag teams, even if individually they're not very good, if their chemistry's high, you tend to get a good match rating. So, because Powers of Paige's chemistry is high, you can get away with it. So that was fine. Yeah, that was fine. That was better than I was expecting, actually. I feel like I booked those two against each other before, but anyway. Could be wrong. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, these are all fine. That could have been better, but to be expected, I suppose. Oh, there we go. Well, he's lost overness because he's a baby face and he's shook hands, but yeah, I was worried about that, but like I've said all the way through this, it doesn't matter. That's fine. Oh, there we go. That's good. I was hoping they'd all gain overness there because the charisma's quite good. Yeah, six-person tags never quite get over as I'd like. Anywho, that was Warfare. Still not 1,000 fans. Yeah, the Barbarian and the Warlord. That's where we pay you the big bucks, Jerry. The Barbarian and the Warlord blend really well as a team. Yeah, just their similar styles. Yeah, they both suck. So that bodes well. Right. I wonder if I'd put the advertising up if we may get 1,000 fans. I might try that when we move into December. Speaking of which, I've not had many emails so far this month, which I can't say I'm sorry about, but we're about to move from November to December, so we will get a lot of emails when we get to that point. Birthdays and retirements, and somebody will announce their touring roster. Is it Osaka Pro? Yeah, Osaka Pro will announce their touring roster, so one or two bits and bobs going on. Obviously, we'll get an update about the development territory. Right, well, we're only 16 minutes in and we're already at the second show, so let's get on with it. Because these videos are generally too long because I just rattle on. But we're not going to happen. That's not going to happen here. Let's just get straight on with it. So we're going to kick things off with another angle, and it's going to be a stable angle. So the Stunning Sukeban are going to attack Deonna Purrazzo and Paige. So we're basically, again, here trying to ram home the story that they're still outnumbered. So despite the fact Paige is here and he's teaming with Deonna, they're still outnumbered. So they'd be in the ring, they'd call them out. Katrina would walk out. She'd snap her fingers. There we go. She'd snap her fingers twice. Asuka would run in, and then, they'd fight Asuka off, Kai would run in, and eventually they'd just get overwhelmed because there's three of them. Io would whack Paige with the belt or something to lay her out, and then they'd get on top. And then next up we've got a match. This match is break glass in case of need a match in an emergency, because it's Eli Drake versus Josh Barnett. Match that we've done quite a few times, but it's normally good. And we'll give Eli Drake a win. I've got a plan for him for this pay-per-view, but he's just treading water a little bit. But I do need to start building towards the December pay-per-view, which we're kind of putting a couple of things in place. The pack, obviously the Paige return, the pack alliance with Real One. The handshake for Mark Haskins is going to go somewhere. But I've got a few irons in the fire, and then obviously. Yeah, well, I'll not spoil it because there's something coming up that it's going to lead to something. Anyway, let's just get on with it. No purpose for that, it's just to basically get Eli Drake on the show. And then the feud that nearly does need to end. I feel like it's been going on too long, but it will end shortly. It's the little TV feud that we've been doing. So it's Barbie Hayden versus Tenille Dashwood. There we go. So Barbie Hayden challenging Tenille Dashwood. So again, that rivalry that basically started because one got more video vignettes about their debut than the other. That's the basis of this rivalry. So yeah, that feud will finally come to an end. Right, next up, we're going to do another angle. It's going to be... Can this be a manager angle? Let's have a look. So there's something going on outside. I'm getting distracted because there's something going on outside, and I think I know what it is, but it's not. It's beyond comment if it's what I think it is. My wonderful neighbours, anyway. But anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's instead find this angle. So, manager, what is it? Lures. There we go. Manager Lewis face into trap. There we go. So real one, lures Chris Sabin into an attack from Pac. So basically, the real one, Enzo Amore in brackets. He'd see Chris Sabin backstage and say, "Hey, you're the loser that wasn't even good enough to get in the Battle of Los Angeles tournament." Blah 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 blah. So we basically bury him and say, hey, and then look, you got your big chance at Primal Rage, and what happened? You lost to Congo Kong. Whereas what happened to me at Primal Rage? Oh yeah, I pinned the legendary Mick Foley. Blah 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 blah. Then Sabin would get up in his face, and then Pac would just attack him from behind. So that's what would happen there. And then we're gonna keep the old tag division cooking. I feel like these Crime Time become glorified jobbers, unfortunately, but was about to lose again, this time to a team that's been on a bit of a roll. Unintentionally, to be honest with you, but it's good. So Crime Time versus NGD. And NGD are going to win, but they're going to cheat. Just because they're heels. I was going to do we're not going to do opponent miscommunication and then Crime Time turn it. Didn't Crime Time turn on each other in real life? I think Shad ended up becoming the heel. Then they had a dreadful pay-per-view match. I think it was Extreme Rules. And then that was it. It was a bit like when it wasn't quite as bad as when Heavy Machinery split up, but it was that level where it's weird because you think sometimes like. Tag teams splitting up and then feuding with each other, it feels like it's a home run. But thinking about it, it feels like it's a home run of a feud because of all the history there. But thinking about it, how many tag teams have split up, feuded, and it being good? Like, I actually can't think of any. Even Edge versus Christian in 2001, it wasn't amazing. It was okay, but it wasn't amazing. But yeah, I mean, how many? Can anyone think? Leave a comment if you can think of a tag team that split up. I mean, there must be some, but think of a tag team that split up, feuded, and it was good. I am struggling. There's got to be one. If a tag team split up and the singles guy goes on to good things, like Shawn Michaels is Shawn Michaels is the obvious example of that. But you got Bret Hart was in a tag team, split up, went on to do. I mean, I don't know. I think that was slightly different. I don't think one partner turned on the other there. I think it was more, you know what I mean. But I mean, obviously, like I said, Shawn Michaels is the obvious turning on Marty J. That's the obvious one. But yeah, there's got to. I mean, I don't know. I'm getting distracted here. Anyway, let's move on. So we just give the Totem Towers a win there. Again, there is a reason for that. Even that match, which seemed pointless, there is a reason behind it, which will become clear in future episodes. Right, next up we're going to have an angle, and this person didn't appear on the last episode of the last show, the last Warfare, but they're going to appear here. Do a backstage sneak attack. So it's going to be Mia Yim attacking Shanna. So what would happen here? Shanna would be doing an interview. And, Kayla or Charlie, whichever one it is, and say, hey, you came up short against EO. Have you got plans to go after the belt? Blah, 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 blah. And then while she's answering the question, Mia Yim would just assault her from behind, stand over and say something like, I don't know, something cool. Like, I don't know. I can't think of something cool. She said something cool, basically, about revenge. I mean, Mia Yim's gimmick since she turned heel, it's all been about sort of getting revenge. So we keep that theme going because, of course, she got revenge on Mickie James. She got revenge on Nicole Matthews after Nicole Matthews beat her in a debut match, and now she wants revenge on Shanna because Mia Yim, the only title match Mia Yim's had, Shanna was champion and Shanna retained. Obviously, because. Asuka, I think it was Asuka who ran in. It was somebody interfered anyway. I think it was either Asuka or Rio. Pretty sure it was Asuka. And now she wants to get a win back, basically. So that's kind of Mia Yim's sort of gimmick at the minute. It's getting revenge and getting wins back over people. A bit like I don't want to say the Liv Morgan revenge tour, but yeah, you get the idea. That sort of thing. Right, then another match coming up here. Now, if you've been really observant throughout this series, you'll know that I haven't deleted a certain email. And there's a reason for that. And it's to remind me to do the match. And I'm going to do it here. So it's going to be Mark Andrews versus Trey Miguel. Now, what would happen here is Mark Andrews would walk to the ring and he'd start cutting a promo. Hey, Trey, I don't know how I've been booked in this match. Trey Miguel's not won all year, blah, 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 blah. And he even, he lost, he took the pinfall on Warfare. He took the pinfall on Warfare. He's such a loser, etc., etc. And then because he's a nerd, he start talking about, why sky riders and propellers is, scientifically impossible, for humans, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But then the impossible would happen. Trey Miguel, not quite Brooklyn Brawler beating Triple H. That did happen, didn't it? That is a figment of my imagination. Anyway, not quite that level, but Trey Miguel is going to win. So Trey Miguel is going to beat Mark Andrews. So he'd run him down on the mic. And then he'd get a pinfall, maybe like a fluke roll-up or something. So for his first victory of the year, I'm pretty sure it is, Trey Miguel beats Mark Andrews. And then he celebrates. And that is to build to something. Just a little sort of mini TV feud we're going to do. So Trey Miguel finally gets a win. Oh, I can start the show. I've got 3 segments left to go. So we'll book the 3 segments. Because we're going to do an authority. And it's going to be, again, trying to build for our next show to try and get 1,000 people to come and watch it. So it's going to be Excalibur announcing that Tribe Vanguard and Juicy Product, I forgot their name then, are going to be in a tag team match, and he's going to announce that the winner of that match is likely to get a title shot. He won't say we'll definitely get a title shot, but okay, no, he'll say something like we'll get a title shot in the near future. He won't actually say when it is. Or will be considered for a title shot in the near future, because we need some challenges for the Mighty, and they're going to respond excuse me, to that announcement. And that they can slag Excalibur off. They can just say something like, well, it doesn't matter who he puts up against us. We're going to beat them anyway. Blah 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 blah. He's a rubbish general manager. He's a rubbish authority figure, etc., etc. So again, we're trying to heat that tag division up. We've got NGD winning. We've got Burning have just debuted and they won. We've got this rivalry that's building up now. And NGD have been on a bit of a tear, really. So, yeah, it is going somewhere. And next up is the main event, which of course got booked in the last show. So it's Drew Gulak versus Dominik Dijakovic, the returning Drew Gulak. And Drew Gulak is, of course, going to win, get some revenge. And he's going to win because Keith Lee is going to return the favour and help him win, which I know he's 2 babyfaces ganging up on 1 heel. However, after the match, Drew Gulak is going to attack Keith Lee. And I'm hoping... That's annoying. I wanted the purpose to say turn Drew Gulak. Because that is going to be his heel turn. I'll sort that out. Okay, fair enough. I'll sort that out in the later... I'll sort that out. But basically what's going to happen there is... So, yeah, Keith Lee's going to help. Keith Lee's going to... So, Dijakovic is going to go after Gulak's injury, whatever he did to take him out of the thing, the title match. Keith Lee's... Or he's going to be cheating or something. Keith Lee's going to have had enough of it. He's going to interfere. And then, Gulak... He thinks he's gonna, Keith Lee will raise his hand, Keith Lee will raise his arm or something, and Gulak will turn and kick him in the nuts or something. I don't know. But he attacked him anyway, and that's supposed to be a heel turn, but obviously I can't book it as a heel turn, which is slightly irritating. But anyway, we'll come back to that. But yeah, it is essentially Gulak turning on Keith Lee. Right, let's get on with it, because I'm going to have a lot of emails to deal with after this, and I feel like I took a long time to book that, although I did get distracted, of course, by my old Cretany. Cool, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Good, that's the point, that was the purpose there. I was hoping that was going to be a little bit better, but we'll take it. Yeah, that's fine. I was hoping that was going to be a little bit better. That was good. That was better than I was expecting. Yeah, good. Now, you see, I wasn't expecting that to be so good. I wasn't expecting that. I'll come back to that in a second, actually. Yeah, okay. I'm glad I listened to you now, Mark. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Get the tag champs over. Yeah, I'm glad Gulak didn't lose. I was worried there he was going to lose over us with that attack, but thankfully he didn't. So, like Mark Haskins did when he shook hands when he's a heel. Okay, that's fine though. That's all good stuff. Cool, that was okay. Only 70%. But consistent, rather than like poor segments and then good segments to drag them up. Just consistently high 60s, low 70s segments. So that's pretty good. Right, we're now going to be in December. Do you remember the very first night of December? Let's see what's going to happen. So we are Sunday the 1st of December. 76 emails, so we've got about... How many emails did we have before that? 59 was it, something? About 50, I don't know. 59 emails have we received? How many before? It was about 17, sorry, that's what I meant to say. Anyway... Yeah, so you may have, the more observant of you may have thinking, why is he not deleting this email? Well, that's why, because I thought, you know what? When I've got a bit of TV time that I can spare, let's see what these two guys can do. And I'm glad I listened to it now, because that was awesome. Anyway, let's go through these emails, and then we'll end the video. So a few birthdays. Eli Drake, 37, so his stats will probably go down a little bit, unfortunately. Oh, Keith Lee's got a bit older. As I was a few of our development people. Yeah, that's fine. Good. Right. So 13%. I'm just wondering if we can get better sponsors, but I'll worry about that after the video. Okay, so Cyrus Fees, don't know who that is. That's got some contracts coming up. I need to decide what I'm doing with those. I mean, some of them I have decided, but some I haven't. More than I thought. Like Jungle Girls retired. Kevin Sullivan's retired. HC Lock, Lightning. Well, let's see. So who's announcing the retirement? Yoshinari Ogawa. Shane Douglas. Oh no. Dutch Mantel's retired. Okay. Jerry Lawler. Isn't he the owner? I wonder if that means they need a new owner. He's definitely the owner. So they're going to need new owners. No, not Schiavone. Okay, fair enough. So, not many retirements, though, in terms of wrestlers, not many. Unfortunately, some staff, though. Let's just quickly check Shane Douglas. I'm trying to see who he's working for. They're going to have to replace him, obviously. House of Hardcore, AEW, and Rise. It's a shame as well, because his stats are not that bad. Fair enough. Right, okay, let's quickly flick through these. They're all obviously getting better. I'm not going to read them too closely. I mean, I'll do that after. Right, so MLW have signed Matty Buffett, Chris Roach, Eric Langley, Lou D'Angeli, Paul Turner, David Otunga. And Rise have signed Shane Douglas, but they're going to have to replace him now. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Okay, Drew Gulak, what's the rest? I'm going to delete that email. I listened to Mark Andrews, but I'm not going to listen to that one. Sorry, Drew. Yeah, CMLL can't compete. We still can't get 1,000 people, but I'm going to put the advertising up to try and rectify that. Oh, there we go. MLW have risen to national. Fair enough. Osaka Pro announced their touring roster. So MLW have signed Crimson and Mark Jindrak. So I'm guessing Averno, these signings of Averno and Shane Douglas to replace Crimson and Mark Jindrak. Cool. Right. So let's just see who. Is it Osaka Pro? Was it? Sami Callihan and Schlag. Well, that would be. That won't get boring. That is a. If you had the two one-match card, well, that will be a one-match card every night, won't it? There we go. Fair enough. Who's Sami Callihan working for? Yeah, his stats are quite good. I mean, his brawl's really high. Cool. Anyway, yeah. So I think that's the end of the video. So we have this has dragged on longer than it probably needed to, but hey ho, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So we're now into December. As I said, that's gonna be the end of the video. So we're now starting to put the building blocks in place for our December event, which hopefully by the time you hear this voice again will be in the calendar. But that is for then. And this is now, and this is the end of the video. So if you enjoyed this video, then please like and share the video. You can also leave a comment on the video, should you choose to do that. While you're here on YouTube, if you head on over to the channel, The Uncommentator, you will find the rest of the videos in this playlist if you want to see how I have got to this point. You'll also find a myriad of other games that I have played through. If you like wrestling, then please go and check out my WWE Crush Hour playthrough. If you don't like wrestling, then why are you watching this video? But if you do not, then there is plenty of other content on the channel. There's 3 Pokemon-related series. There is Star Fox. There is Kirby. There is some train racing, a game called Extreme Express, Streets of Rage. All sorts of stuff going on over there for your viewing pleasure. But next time, we're going to be moving on. We're going to be kicking off December and continuing the build towards the December pay-per-view. But to get to that point, for now, from me, it is sayonara.